Hello, everyone. My name is Dominic, and today I have a special guest, my good friend. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Chris.
And we're just going to be making. We wanted to make a kind of podcast. I haven't completely decided on a name yet. I thought maybe the Polymath podcast because I want it to be about a bunch of different, like any subject at all, and I liked the alliteration. But for now, we'll just leave it nameless. And we're here to talk about, all sorts of things going on. We're really big into video games and tech, and there's definitely a lot of news coming out in that area. So let's just start things off, right off the bat. Pretty soon here, we're going to be having the launch of the Xbox One X, and the PlayStation 4 Pro already launched last year in, I think, November. And so, Chris, I just really want to get your take. What do you think about this console generation and how instead of having like, the next Xbox and like a PlayStation 5, we have these weird like more powerful refresh consoles. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I do think it's weird. I'm so used to like how I started off with just like the regular Xbox, and I got the 360, and there was the Slim, but that was understandable because it fixed a few problems. And now we got the Xbox One. Now we have the Xbox One S, and now we're getting the X. So it's weird, but it is cool how everything is evolving. How we're gonna have soon 4K gaming in the living room. So that's pretty cool. Um, yeah,
And so,
all I can think of.
do you think? So for you, do you think that the uh, refresh consoles are worth it. Now, of course, you and I, we're big Xbox fans. We're going to buy the Xbox One X no matter what. But for a more casual gamer who maybe has a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One X, is it worth it, do you think, to get these refresh consoles, or should they just wait until the true next gen systems come out a few years from now?
Um, I think if you're not really big into gaming, I think you should probably just stay where you're at, or like if you're thinking of getting a new one, maybe if you're Xbox, just get like an Xbox One S. It's not that expensive. That's around like 250, but don't quote me on that. And then there's the PlayStation 4 and 4 Pro. I'm not sure what the prices are on there, but they're fine. And with the Xbox One X, they always talked about how the Xbox One family is not going to be left behind, so you're not going to be missing out on like games or anything. Maybe technical advances like graphics and stuff, but like you really won't be missing out on games. And that's what it was like, the big thing for me for like my original Xbox. I got sad when they stopped making games for that, so I had to upgrade. And this you don't really have to if you're not like a hardcore fan. That's my take.
So I'm really happy you brought that up. That no player left behind thing, because I know you and I are also both fans of Review Tech USA, and he's brought up a lot of good points in this regard, where he thinks that eventually we will get to a point where this whole no player left behind thing, uh, you know, will kind of not be true anymore. Like he thinks you might
Hmm.
have like a AAA developer, and they go to Microsoft and they say, "Hey, we have this new game and it has this really cool multiplayer feature, and we just can't get it to work on the OG Xbox One and PS4. Can we just make it for the Xbox One X?" And I have a feeling Microsoft is probably going to say yes, but that's probably going to be a few years down the line when the Xbox One X is more popular. And as it stands right now, I don't know if the Xbox One X is going to sell all that well. I mean, Microsoft hasn't really been marketing it. Some people think the price is pretty steep, even though I think that the price is worth it for how powerful of a machine you're getting.
Oh yeah.
Um, I know I heard recently that it's like you were right, by the way. You can get like often the OG the PS4 Slim and the Xbox One X, they are usually on sale for about 250. So this holiday, Black Friday, the Xbox One X is $500. For $500, you could buy a PS4 Slim and an Xbox One X S, and they probably come bundled with a couple of games. So you
Yeah.
could get two systems for the price of one Xbox One X. And so I'm not sure if people are going to go for it. Of course, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Are there any games in particular that you're excited for this holiday?
Well, I'm really hoping like Call of Duty does well because I do like the World War II genre games, and I really hope it goes off with a bang. I'm definitely gonna buy it. Um, I like all those sports games, obviously, because I just play a lot of sports games. Um, E3, I saw a lot of interesting things. Well, obviously, the one thing that we're all waiting for is Red Dead Redemption 2,
which has been
which,
delayed.
well, yeah, sadly. But I really want to see that. And then Far Cry 5 has an interesting storyline, which will probably still buy it eventually. But looks a little controversy, but it looks fine. I think it's gonna be a fun game. What else? What? Oh yeah, the game that Ubisoft showed up. No, was it Ubisoft?
Which game?
I can't remember. No. I think it was EA. No, it was EA. That showed off at E3. Um, I can't remember what it's called, but it had like really good graphics and like you had like power
Oh,
suits.
Project Anthem.
Yeah,
That
that.
game looks sick. That game
Yes, it
looks
does.
really cool. I was a little skeptical at first when I saw him flying around, and I'm definitely probably going to give that one a shot. But that's not coming out until next year.
Yeah, yeah. I would. If they have a demo, I'll be happy, so I can like check it out first.
Now, of course, we also have Assassin's Creed coming back after taking a year-long break, which was kind of a big deal because Assassin's Creed had never done that before.
Hmm.
Do you think it helped taking a break? Because of course we had the problems with Assassin's Creed Unity. That was a total mess. I actually ended up liking Assassin's Creed Unity, but at launch it was just a total catastrophe. I know you actually got a free game because you bought AC Unity at launch.
Yeah, the gold edition of it. If you had like the if you owned the season pass, then you got a free game, which was cool,
Yeah,
because
you
I
got
got
like
Far Cry
Far Cry
4
4.
out of it.
Yeah, it was like damage control trying to make up for
Yeah.
what happened. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins. What do you think about it? Do you think it's better, or do you think it's just more of the same?
We'll probably definitely see more like of the same. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can top Syndicate. I really love that game.
I like that game
Freaking
too.
the grappling hook was a great feature.
Taken right out of
That,
Batman.
yeah. um, I don't know. I think I just have to wait and see. I can't really judge it right now. I mean, everything, all the gameplay they showed, still feels like a regular Assassin's Creed. But when they also had like the hawk, or it was, I believe it was a hawk, um, that felt back to Far Cry 4 because that's what you did. No, in Far
Far
Cry
Cry Primal.
Primal.
Yeah, it's like copy and
Primal.
pasted directly from Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, yeah. So that's interesting. Um, but yeah, that's my thoughts so far. I just don't want to judge it too harshly now until I get my hands on it.
Yeah, I've definitely been looking into more of the details that are coming out in that game. They're saying that the side missions have a little bit more meat to them, because obviously that's the biggest thing is that all this like they give you like 60 side missions, and it's
Hmm.
like it's like two different things, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how they turn around with this one. Also, they're going way back in time, right? So now with Assassin's Creed, we're not going to have guns anymore. Although he does have that magical arrow that I was
You
like,
can
oh, it's like
change.
Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's exactly what that is.
So with Call of Duty, uh, what what was your opinion on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? Because I know that game was a bit of a disappointment to the Call of Duty community, and we could kind of see that before it even came out because there was a lot of negative feedback over the game's setting and things like that. Although Infinity Ward did eventually say that the reason the game took place in space is because they began developing it 3 years prior to when it came out, so they wouldn't have been able to gauge how the fans would have reacted. Um, what was your main gripe with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? Because I know you and I actually really enjoyed the campaign on that game.
Oh, that campaign was amazing. I think that's like one of the best Call of Duty campaigns there is. With all the like side quests was interesting. You could unlock everything with ease. It's not that hard. Uh, the all the you felt for all the characters. It was just, and the ending was perfect, I guess you could say. I think it was a nice ending. Sad, but don't want to spoil anything. Uh, but I thought it was great. But just of course, Call of Duty. The main point is like multiplayer, and I haven't been the biggest person into Call of Duty, but like I've played a lot of it. I just don't like. I don't like hopping around. It's annoying for me, but it was okay. I thought they did okay. Not it wasn't obviously not the greatest. One thing I liked, the only thing I liked with like the DLC weapons is they can complete challenges to unlock them. You don't have to continually buy crates to try to get
Microtransactions.
them. Yeah, which I don't like. So there's that. They make so much money off of that, which is kind of annoying because
That's why
they'll
they
never
keep it
go away
around.
now.
Yeah. Well, I know that definitely the boost movement. It was fun in Advanced Warfare because it was a novelty.
Hmm.
I actually really liked Advanced Warfare, and then of course Black Ops 3 came out, and it wasn't nearly as special anymore. Um, so I can definitely see why people are looking for a boots on the ground experience. Now they did give us Modern Warfare Remastered, which is finally being sold separately from the
Overpriced.
Legacy Edition, which I still think that was something they were an incentive to buy Infinite Warfare. Well, I only want Modern Warfare Remastered, but I can only get it if I buy Infinite Warfare, so I guess I'll just buy the Legacy Edition. How did you feel about Modern Warfare Remastered?
I thought it was great. It's like one of the best Call of Duties, and I mean, I'm annoyed they added again the microtransactions.
Yeah, I'm unhappy about
Uh,
that too.
Annoyed by that, and like all the new DLC weapons. They're cool, everything, but like since I can't get them, I'm annoyed that they're there. Um,
Well, all you gotta do is splurge like $300 on the game, and you can get them.
nah.
Yeah, I always was kind of hoping, a good remaster to me is like just remaster the graphics. Of course, maybe fix any glitches, but just remaster the graphics. And that's what it kind of was at launch, but they very soon added in microtransactions and special weapons and all these things. And yes, I get that they're just cosmetics, but it really detracts from the original experience that you would have had maybe like 10 years ago in 2007 when the
Hmm.
game came out. But whatever, that's the direction they chose to take with it. Prop Hunt is certainly a lot of fun. I'm really
Oh
glad
yeah.
they added that. I played Call of Duty 4 Prop Hunt on PC. That's existed for a long time, and so I can clearly see that's their inspiration on the Modern Warfare Remastered Prop Hunt, which we've actually had a lot of fun with that.
Hmm. Oh yeah, and then I had a little bit of fun with the slasher. That was interesting. I mean, game runs a little long, but good thing they're trying things.
Yeah, that's interesting. I actually didn't get a chance to play that one, but that was supposed to be like an official Michael Myers.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Man. So, let's see here. E3. What was your biggest takeaway from E3? How did and who do you think won E3 this year?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Of course, since I'm a big Xbox fan, I always want to say Xbox.
Xbox, they
Um,
certainly had the numbers. They had what was they had like 50 games or something. They showed off like 50 different games. Like that was
yeah.
impressive. And of course they had a lot of indie game um, showcases and things like that. And I always think Xbox has the coolest stage. Maybe that's
Oh yeah.
just me. Sony definitely had a really good showing. I know you and I, we're not that big on PlayStation, but definitely the exclusives like anything from Naughty Dog, Crash Bandicoot. We're excited for the Spider-Man PS4 game.
Yeah, that looks really sick. I'm sad that I can't have it on Xbox.
Yeah, I know that's it's interesting. It's being made by Insomniac, which is actually the same developer from Ratchet and Clank, who made Ratchet and Clank. And
Hmm.
I don't know if you are. I don't know. Are you a big Ratchet and Clank fan?
No, but like I played it. Like one
Jordan
of
and
my
Jack certainly
friends.
are. Our friends Jordan and Jack. They were PS2 kids. I had an Xbox, so I didn't have
And
that luxury.
yeah.
So the Nintendo Switch. It's a hot product right now, hot topic. So it's all anyone's talking about. Uh, first of all, what was your first impression on the Nintendo Switch when you first saw that reveal trailer?
Give it to me now.
It's a good first impression. Um, I know when I first heard about the concept of the Nintendo Switch, and the whole hybrid nature of it, it's like, well, this is really interesting because there's nothing else that you can really do that's similar to this. At first, it's like, yeah, you could get like an Android tablet and you could like hook it up to your TV with like an HDMI, and you could get one of those crappy Bluetooth controllers. But after
Hmm.
actually using the Nintendo Switch, it's just so much better than that setup could ever be with the Joy Cons and everything. Um, and I know that, particularly for you, like in the reveal trailer when you saw them playing NBA 2K on the Switch, like that was a major selling point.
Yeah, because I would love to take that and just play it anywhere and play it with my friends at like events or something, or like just on the road. Just take out the Switch and play some NBA. That'd be great with like with decent graphics on the tablet, which is great. So can't wait to actually buy one.
Yeah, it definitely works really well. I've taken my Switch to work and just pulled out the two Joy Cons and played Mario Kart with people, and it's quick, it's easy, it's fun. I heard a lot of people say that tabletop mode wasn't a very practical way to play, but I don't find that to be completely true. I mean, yes, the screen is tiny, but it's big enough; it gets the job done.
Hmm.
Um, so it's gonna be really interesting to see. Now, of course, uh, you would love to get a Switch, but there have been major stock shortages since launch. And so
Oh yeah.
how do you feel about that? Do you think Nintendo should have delayed the product until they had enough stock, or do you think Nintendo does this sort of thing on purpose to make the product seem more rare and more special?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a selling point. It's just one of those things to where like I can't get it, but I have to have it. So like just everyone just right when they get in stock, boom, they're gone. Just like with their like mini, what was it, mini NAS?
Yeah. Yeah, that thing was gone instantly in scalpers online. It was a scalper's dream selling them for like triple or quadruple the price.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And of course, they have a new mini SNES coming out, and we're going to see if they do the same thing again. I have a feeling they are. Apparently, they've said, "Oh no, we're going to increase stock this time." But I mean, it's Nintendo. They do
Mm,
this.
yeah.
And I don't know. Did you have a Wii?
No, I did not. I was one of those kids that did not have one.
That is another story of I mean, of course, the Wii was just such a fluke success, and it was just so immensely popular. But it's like even 2 years, 3 years after the Wii came out, it was still hard to find it on store shelves. Like it was still pretty scarce. So Nintendo just kind of has a history of, I don't know, making things artificially rare.
Hmm.
And so, how do you feel about? Because a game I'm really excited for is Super Mario Odyssey, and so I was wondering what's your opinion on that after seeing the trailers?
Well, it looks great. Graphics looks amazing. I think the gameplay looks pretty solid. I'm guessing it's taken on from back when like uh, Mario 64, which I played, which because I had a 64 way back in the day, but it's no longer with me anymore, which I'm sad about.
Tragedy.
But but right when I get a Switch, I'll probably and have some extra money. I'll probably pre-order that. Um, any Mario game, and from now on is probably gonna be really good. Even maybe that Mario Rabbits crossover.
Yeah,
That
I
looks
actually saw
interesting.
some gameplay of that the other day. I mean, the best description I heard of is people are calling it XCOM for kids, and that's actually
Hmm.
a pretty good description of it. I was watching some gameplay, and it actually looks fun. I'm not normally into the rabbits. I mean, kind of think the rabbits are designed for 5-year-olds. They're kind of obnoxious. They kind of remind me of the Minions. Not really for me. But I mean, I don't know. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That game actually looks pretty darn fun.
Yeah, I'll probably buy it in the future.
I can see myself picking it up. That's actually coming out this month, I think.
Really?
I think it's coming out on the 20
Damn
something.
it! Need to get it. Need to get that damn Switch.
It's too bad it's impossible unless you want to pay like $500 on eBay, and you can get it.
Yeah, no thanks.
Oh, Nintendo. All right. Well, other games I'm excited for. Definitely Wolfenstein 2. the new Colossus. I really enjoyed the first Wolfenstein game, and I know you actually played it long before I did. I think did you pre-ordered it or you bought it on launch day back in
I
2014?
pre-ordered it.
And so, what did you think of the first Wolfenstein game as like a single player shooter that's very story driven?
Oh, it was awesome. It had a lot of action. I love the graphics. I love like the setting. It's interesting to see like what would have happened if the war went a different way. Of course, it was a little bit out there with like all the technology, but could have happened. And it was weird to see that trailer at Bethesda's um, panel with Wolfenstein 2 because thought he was dead, thought it was over,
Yeah,
but nope.
definitely. That was a fun reveal when you saw the Panzerhund, jump over the hill, and it's like, oh my God, it's Wolfenstein! Like they're actually making a sequel. Like, yeah, we didn't really think it was getting a sequel. We won't give any spoilers, but if you know the ending of the first Wolfenstein game, it didn't really leave room for a sequel, but they figured out a way to fix that. Um, a lot of the characters were very likable. I loved the gameplay, had solid mechanics, and of course it just had that classic because it's very related to Doom in that way. It just has that kind of over the top crazy violence. That's just it's kind of goofy at times, but it doesn't really try to hide that fact. Like especially in the first Wolfenstein game, in the prison scene. In the prison level where you get on that giant robot and just start slaughtering people and wreaking mayhem and wreak
Uh-huh.
havoc.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy, and like as we've seen in the new Wolfenstein trailer, it's like shooting people from a wheelchair, riding on the back of a fire-breathing Panzerhund robot. And the psychedelic drugs. It's just going to be so crazy, and I'm actually very excited for that. But
Oh
now
yeah.
now that we're on the topic of Bethesda's E3 panel, uh, there were a lot of disappointments involved, and that's putting it nicely. Of
Hmm.
course, we're all kind of tired of how much Skyrim is being ported. I know that last year you and I, in the 2016 Bethesda panel, we watched it expecting The Elder Scrolls 6. And we watched this year's expecting The Elder Scrolls 6. And instead we got, Skyrim paid mods, Skyrim VR, Skyrim on Switch, which I won't knock that. I'm actually, kind of excited for that. And really all we got was Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2. So, what was your opinion regarding Bethesda's conference this year, and were you disappointed?
Yes, very disappointing. Only because The Elder Scrolls is probably now one of my favorite games now. Like Skyrim, right when I got my hands onto it, it just blew me away. I loved every second of it. So I've been just waiting for that next game after I poured hours upon hours into Skyrim, and like you said last year, they did tease it. Like they kind of tease it, like he's just like, oh, we've heard you, we've been working
Yeah,
on it,
I remember
and
that
it's
had to
just
be a troll, right? That had to be on purpose.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
so
released the remaster version.
you're referring to when Todd Howard came on screen and he said, you've been wondering for a long time, and today we're ready to say yes, we're working on it. And then it's like Skyrim Special Edition. It's like, you got me.
Yeah, which I did buy.
Yes, I bought it
Played
too.
the
It was,
whole
it was kind of
game.
nice. Because it had been almost 5 6 years at that point, and of course, Skyrim originally released on the kind of aging 360 and PS3, which it played well back then, but it looks a whole lot better now, and it always looked really good on PC.
Yeah, and now we have mods, which helps.
We do have mods,
Like,
although Bethesda is trying to do that paid mod thing again, which is so ridiculous. You don't pay for mods. That's just not how it works. But Bethesda doesn't understand that. Oh well. Um,
hmm,
Other than that, the Evil Within 2. So, to my knowledge, you actually played the first Evil Within game, but did you complete it?
no, not even close.
Too scary?
Eh, that hard. It's a hard game.
Are you hyped at all for the Evil Within 2?
Eh, I mean, since I wasn't the biggest fan, not really. But if it goes on sale like a year later for a decent price, I'll probably buy it.
Yeah, keep your eye
Maybe.
on it. Yeah, I am. I was actually I watched a lot of gameplay of Bethesda's recent game came out in like May, called Prey, and I'm still kind of want that game. Like that game looks really cool, and I really like the gameplay that I saw, and I think that's actually developed by Arcane Studios, who made Dishonored, and I know that you
Hmm.
actually picked up Dishonored 2 back when it came out. And how'd you feel about that game?
It was pretty good. I mean, I liked how you can at the beginning you could pick between either the father or the daughter to play as, and then you can choose to challenge yourself to either take the powers or not to even get to change the way you play. And yeah, I think it was a step up from the first one. I haven't completed it yet. Got to go back and do that
Got
eventually.
a big backlog. I know some people call it Dishonored, like real man's Assassin's Creed. Like professional Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Kind of takes that stealth over the top. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And as far as sports games, so NBA 2K, you are a connoisseur of those games, to say the least. And
Hmm.
so, with the next NBA 2K game coming out, it's NBA 2K 18. It's always a year ahead, right?
Yep.
Um, what are you excited for in those games? I will admit I don't know that much about them, but I know that it's kind of the premier way to play basketball,
Yeah.
video game basketball.
Hmm. It's just, uh, you know, every year there's always that one thing that keeps the game down. If it's like animations that are annoying, or like it's hard to shoot, or the shooting mechanics are annoying. But I'm interested to see when they release like the demo or prelude like they did last year, and to see the gameplay. But the graphics look amazing, and since I play 2K, that's the most like 2K17. I think I have about 23 days played so far. Um, I'm going to get the most expensive edition of 2K18 because I just love basketball so much. But also, I might buy NBA Live 18 eventually because that's EA's version, which has never been great.
But it's catching
Um,
up recently.
yeah. I've been playing the demo. I like it. It's got better graphics, a little bit more mechanics, more features, and it's interesting to see if they succeed this year, or at least get more people to play. I'm definitely buying it eventually.
That's actually really interesting. And now, of course, as far as sports games go, as Xbox players, we've been thirsting, foaming at the mouth, chomping at the bit to get uh, a baseball game finally at last, but we have not received it. PlayStation has MLB The Show, which, to my knowledge, is it's good. It's good. It gets the job done. I don't know if it's exceptionally like the best baseball game ever, but it's something that we Xbox players do not have. So how have you felt about that with the baseball withdrawal in recent years on Xbox?
Very sad. Very, very sad. That's like I don't know why I read or got into it why 2K stopped making games, um, baseball games for both consoles. That's all I really played on my original Xbox, which was 2K7 basketball and then 2K6 baseball, and it was my favorite game. Like I like baseball, and like with a baseball video game, there's never really BS. Like it's just baseball. Like you can't really like there's no like for all the sports fans out there. There's no like cheese way to like win. So I just I want someone to step up and make one. I'm sick of these RBI games.
Yeah, these
Like
like
they're
indie games.
cartoons.
Yeah,
They
they don't
they
really cut the
they suck.
muster.
Okay, they suck. They don't have licensing. They purely suck. I want a game. The closest thing I've gotten was when I, for some reason, really wanted a PS Vita. I got it. And I only played MLB on it. That's it. And then I sold it.
Well, probably served its purpose. I don't know. I don't know if the PS Vita is that great. Uh,
It's not. Don't
definitely,
waste your money.
definitely, yeah, definitely. The PSP was much better back in the day, back in the glory day of the PSP. Um, well, bringing it back to Bethesda, I actually want to know what was your opinion on Fallout 4. Now, I know Fallout 4 has been out for a while now, but I actually saw that they are releasing a Game of the Year edition, um, finally, which has all the DLC included, of course. And so I want to know, what was your opinion on Fallout 4? Because for me, I think it was fun, but I think it was a step backwards from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
I really liked it only because even though I owned Fallout 3, I never really played it. So I didn't see like the step backs or anything. So I just saw it as just like a brand new game I've never played before. And so I really liked it at first. I have multiple accounts on it. Um, Never bought the DLC. I'll play it eventually. Um, but I thought it was a pretty good game. But since I never played the originals to know what I'm missing, it's my opinion's not that valid. But I still, if you never played a Fallout game and you just start out in Fallout 4, I think you'll like it, and I think it's worth it for the Game of the Year edition, which is should be interesting. So
And of course, the DLC on Fallout 4 was a little bit disappointing, considering on Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas we got like 4 or 5 brand new adventures, but Fallout 4 we really only got 2, and the rest of the DLC was all of the Wasteland Workshop stuff, which I frankly couldn't care less about. I saw some really cool stuff online, like on Reddit. People made these giant, amazing bases, and it was fine, but it wasn't really my thing. So it was a little bit disappointing in that regard.
okay. Like I said, I never played the DLC, so I wouldn't know.
All right, so Chris, as we know, you and I are both achievement hunters. We both enjoy gamer score. And so I wanted to know, for you, what was the most challenging achievement you have ever got?
Ooh. So I would probably have to say I can't really think of one that I have, but the one I'm working on is probably the most challenging I could ever think of, and it's in Skyrim, and it's when you have to bring the Thieves Guild back to its former glory. And it's just so challenging because you have to do certain missions and you have to get them from the people in the Thieves Guild, which they give them randomly, so you can get like the same mission like 5 times and not be getting the ones you need to progress through the storyline to bring them back to the former glory to get that achievement. And I get so annoyed with it. So that's probably the most challenging achievement that I'm going to get and I'm working on. But I can't really think of an achievement right now that was super challenging for me.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the same for me. I'd have to really sit down and look at my list. Because I mean I've completed a lot of games on the hardest difficulty, and that can be really nerve wracking. So I'd have to really see which one was the most difficult. Um, there's definitely a few that can stick out. Uh, like beating Wolfenstein on the hardest difficulty, or a few years back when I played a game called Super Meat Boy. There were a lot of really hard achievements involved with that. Um,
Mm.
I know recently you and I went on Portal 2, and we got that achievement for completing one of the courses without dying. I think the achievement's called Still Alive, and that was really stressful. I don't know if it was the hardest thing ever, but it was definitely really stressful because the stakes were so high. Because if one of us died, we'd have to completely start over.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely not really an achievement, but something we've kind of tried for going. We tried going for it recently, um, and we might go for it again. But that there's that one medal on GTA 5 for completing all of the heists on the hardest difficulty without a single person dying. The criminal mastermind.
Oh.
Now that's not an achievement, although it is an in-game medal, and you do get $10 million. Uh, if we completed that someday, that would probably be the hardest thing we've ever done. But that's not an achievement though, so I guess that
Yeah.
wouldn't count.
And it's funny, the hardest thing for that is that our friend group just sort of screws up by ourselves by doing the stupidest things.
Yeah, I mean, Jack, he thinks it's funny to RPG himself. I don't know. Um, That is definitely a tough question, though. All right. Well, Chris, it has been an honor having you on the first edition of this podcast. I feel like we had some a pretty great conversation. We had some pretty great things to say, and I hope to have you on again. Anything else you want to say before we leave?
It was great being here, first time on the podcast, and hope it becomes successful. And I will definitely come back if you invite me. So thank you again.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Chris. Have an awesome day, and we will see you guys next time.